Hey, what's up? In this video we're going to be talking about the key elements of a successful AR ad build. So you know exactly what you need to do to be able to produce a really powerful, immersive, augmented reality ad for Meta platforms, so Instagram and Facebook, and be able to get the action or the emotion and the connection with the audience in the way that you would like for it to be, and not for it to be something that you invest money into and spend time into, and it ends up not being something that you're really using a lot. So let's jump straight into it. So hey, my name's Rich. Today we're going to be looking at the key elements of a successful AR ad build. So if you're already familiar with AR, then just skip right ahead to the next section. But if you're not, we're going to go through a little bit of what it's about basically. Augmented reality is technology that superimposes digital information on top of the real world. So I think the best example, one that we're all very familiar with, is Pokemon Go. Obviously it took the world by storm, a few years ago now, and it's still being used by a lot of people. But really, it's the best example of showing you how AR actually works and how people interact with it, and people spend their time on it. Essentially, what you're doing is you're getting a digital asset, so you're getting something that's augmenting your reality, it's upgrading, improving your reality. And the digital asset, of course, in this case for us, for e-commerce marketers and for agencies and brands, this digital asset is either our product or assets that are related to our brand and sort of the experience that we want the users to have, right? So essentially what AR marketing is the ability to bring someone from the Facebook feed, the Instagram feed, or whichever platform you're using it on, straight into an immersive ad, and getting them to build a very strong relationship, build authority with your brand, and essentially get them immersed into your brand and what your mission is in a very powerful way. So an example of using AR for your audience, it could just be anything from a simple text message to a fully immersive 3D environment. And while AR is still in its early stages, there are already a number of ways you can use it to create Facebook ad creative that's more engaging and more relevant to your audience. For example, you can use AR to give your customers a virtual tour of your product, or to provide them with more information about your brand. You can also use AR to create interactive ads that allow users to play and interact with your product before they purchase it. Augmented reality offers endless possibilities for marketers, and it's only going to become more popular in the coming years. And I've got an example in another video called 7 AR ad strategies for success, and they're ones that brands are already using or have already used, and basically different types of AR experience and how they've actually been used by these brands. So check that video out if you want specific examples of this. But yeah, let's keep on going. For now, it's important for you to understand your audience's pains, needs, desires, and envision how you can get that experience across to them with immersive ad. One way this can be done is by giving them an emotion that you want them to experience. With a try-on, for example, you need to think about what the customer journey looks like also, and what the action you want them to take afterwards. There are many objectives that AR ads can have, so it's important that you think about what action you want them to take after they're in the experience. You want them to join a community, you want them to go and look at a product on a page, you want them to sign up to a list. The possibilities are endless, but you really need to think about how that experience then translates into an action, and what part of the funnel they're in, all the normal parts of marketing foundation that you'll be thinking about. But using AR, an immersive ad, to be able to actually pull people through in a much more effective way. So once you've got all that down, you understand your audience, it's time to move on to the next section. So the next section is messaging. And of course, again, this goes back to the fundamentals of marketing. You need to be able to understand how to get your message across thoroughly, effectively, and in the simplest possible way. You also need to think about how you're designing your ads with the sound off. Of course, we know that people on Facebook and Instagram scroll through without any sound most of the time. So you need to be able to let people understand how they're going to be able to use the ad, how to actually get involved in the immersive experience, and how it all works in a very simple, straightforward way. So you need to ensure the AR is self-explanatory and doesn't need language to explain how to use it. And of course, this can then be effective, say if you're not going to be doing it in one English-speaking country, you're going to be doing it in another country with another language. It can be easily translatable because it's essentially everything you need is already there. It's very visual, and it's again designed with the sound off. So that means that people don't need to understand, like read through a lot of things to understand how to use it, because if they're looking at the AR ad for the first time, it can be a very daunting thing for some people because they haven't really experienced this before. So it needs to be something that they're just going to understand straight away. It's very simple to use and they can just get in and interact as soon as possible. Because most people aren't going to stay to figure out how to use things. You know, that they may look on Google or something if they don't quite understand it, and then they're gone. You know, you've lost their attention for the foreseeable future until your ad pops up again. So make sure this is done, you know, prior to creating the ad. And then one way you can do this is you can have just simple hand icon gestures or a target on the screen or something very easily understood by people. There's tap here, do this, swipe here, you know, something that's just a very easy action. You could add text, but of course, again, like it's better to not have any text. It's better just to have something super simple like a hand just doing this or a tap target or something like that. So the next stage is using a mix of image and video. So as I mentioned earlier, people are going to see a feed creative, so a video or an image, just as they would on, you know, any normal Facebook ad before they dive into the AR experience. So this is your opportunity to be able to show them, as I said very simply, how they're going to be interacting with this ad, how they're going to use it, and then of course even a little bit about what the action you want them to take as an understanding of how it is before going in. So before you jump into the AR experience, they'll be presented with a video or image that shows them exactly how to use the AR. A video can be a simple UGC version of a person in their demographic using the AR, how they interact with it, and what they need to do as a result of using the AR experience. This can be done by simply using any current performing creative, and then you can essentially have an overlaying action. So it's one of three. It's try it on, tap to interact, or see it within your space. And of course, those three are all specific to what sort of AR it is. And this gives them a very, very clear indication of what they need to do. And of course, again, like as I said, you know, in the last section, you need to be able to put some sort of hand gesture or target or something in there to make it even more simple and easily understood without the language. And this is the last one, of course, my favorite. You know, the most key and most important thing about this is that the reason that AR ads stand out is because they're immersive, they're fun, they're new, and it's, you know, it's an emerging technology that more and more people are understanding about and more people are getting excited about. So, as I said, you know, in one of the previous sections, re-envision, you know, current creatives that are working well or things you've always seen certain audiences reacting to, and how you can actually put that into an immersive ad. You can gamify it, you can make it super interactive, you can let people interact with certain parts of the product, take it out, look at it, you know, understand certain features of it, certain benefits. There's so many different ways that you can do this. And of course, again, I refer back to that 7 AR ad strategies video that I've already done to give you some good ideas for this. But, you know, this is the really good opportunity for you to make it as interactive as possible, because this is a really, really good way of building authority and building trust with people straight off the bat, straight out of the feed. And one way you can do this is you can go through and you can look at the objections and the questions that you normally get, you know, as people are getting nearer to actually taking action, and trying to answer those within an interactive experience. So some ways this has been done, as it's been like, you know, certain elements of products have come out, certain features, and you're able to see a bit more information, you're able to take them out and have a look inside bags, for example, look at different compartments. And it is able to answer a lot of questions that you'll get and a lot of rejections you'll get, you know, towards the end of the buyer's journey. And you can just interact them, get people to interact with, you know, the product and answer these questions as early on as possible. So use those objections and those questions as inspiration of what experience, you know, you want them to have within the AR realm, and then, you know, it'll make your job later on a lot easier because you'll get a lot less rejections. And now that you've got all the elements, you can go ahead and create AR. And then I've actually got you covered on the next stage too. I've already got an AR ads cheat sheet for you ready to download, and it'll basically show you all the steps from uploading into Backup Spark AR, putting it into the Backup Ads Manager, and even all the metrics you need to look at to optimize your ad for the best possible performance. And of course, if you have any issues with creating the AR or you want to ask us any questions, feel free to reach out to me and my team. You know, we're always willing to help. We love this stuff. We love to nerd out about it. So yeah, feel free to message us or, you know, go onto our socials and ping us through there. And of course, yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. There'll be plenty more to come. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.